You have to remember, for those of you that are not Americans, try to understand the peculiarity of this society. It is now owned and operated by descendants of Europeans. What I'm about to say should be understood particularly well in Brazil, for example, because there's similarity here. So the Europeans come and they kill all the local people. They murder them. Violent, destructive, ethnic cleansing, genocide, all apply. And it took a century or two in this country, US, to kill them all, with the few that are left stuck on reservations, which is a kind of genocide, only it goes slowly. And so it doesn't offend you so obviously. So the country is born in its modern form in an unspeakable violence that is everywhere. Northeast, South, West, Midwest, it's everywhere, different times. But the slaughter of the indigenous population is the history of this country in its first 200 years. Before and after independence. It's extraordinary. And the next major phenomena is, having destroyed the indigenous population, you took the indigenous people of Africa and brought them here as slaves to do what? And that for a huge part of the country. And remember, slavery existed in New York, in Ohio, all over, not just the American South. The history of New York City is, if you want, where I live in New York City. The history of New York City is full of slave chapters of the importance of slavery in New York City. Okay, a country that is born in genocide and then graduates to become a slave. And we're not that far away from that. Slavery only ended, a century and a half ago, a little more. That's not very long in historical time. This is a country that identified its survival as dependent on mass murder in the not so distant past. Wow. It thinks it can solve problems with military. The United States today, 2024, spends more on military preparedness than the next 9 countries in the world combined. And the next 9 include Russia and China. All the remaining are allies of the United States. It's military, it's completely out of control. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1989, it meant there was no military opposition. It's over. The Communist Party is gone. Its power is gone. The people want to be like Western Europe in Russia, Yeltsin and now Putin. These are people who believe in capitalism. They didn't slow down their military dominance. They had to be military dominant. And then after 9/11, they had to be military dominant to deal with, Islamic terrorists. It never stops. Now Russia and Putin is another Stalin and Xi Jinping they live in this world because they always have. They have to have the evil